James Harris. Jim Simons is an American mathematician, hedge fund manager, and philanthropist. Considering his background as a code breaker and an expert in pattern recognition, some also consider him as one of the pioneers of financial signal processing. Simons taught mathematics at Stony Brook University on Long Island in New York. In 1982, Simons founded Renaissance Technologies, a private hedge fund investment company based in New York with over $15 billion under management. Simons retired at the end of 2009 as CEO of one of the world's most successful hedge fund companies. Simons' net worth is estimated to be $12.5 billion. Simons lives with his wife Marilyn H. Simons in Manhattan and Long Island, and is the father of 5 children. 2 of his children died young under tragic circumstances, a drowning and an auto accident. Simons shuns the limelight and rarely gives interviews, citing Benjamin the donkey in Animal Farm for explanation. God gave me a tail to keep off the flies. But I'd rather have had no tail and no flies. On October 10, 2009, Simons announced he would retire on January 1, 2010, but remain at Renaissance as non-executive chairman. Early life and education. James Harris Simons was born to a Jewish family, the only child of Marcia and Matthew Simons, and raised in Brookline, Massachusetts. His father owned a shoe factory. He received a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in 1958 and a Ph.D., also in mathematics, from the University of California, Berkeley, under supervision of Bertram Costant in 1961, at the age of 23. Business career. For more than 2 decades, Simons' Renaissance Technologies hedge funds, which trade in markets around the world, have employed mathematical models to analyze and execute trades, many automated. Renaissance uses computer-based models to predict price changes in easily traded financial instruments. These models are based on analyzing as much data as can be gathered, then looking for non-random movements to make predictions. Renaissance employs many specialists with non-financial backgrounds, including mathematicians, physicists, signal processing experts and statisticians. The firm's latest fund is the Renaissance Institutional Equities Fund. RIEF has historically trailed the firm's better-known Medallion Fund, a separate fund that only contains the personal money of the firm's executives. It's startling to see such a highly successful mathematician achieve success in another field, says Edward Witten, professor of physics at the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey, and considered by many of his peers to be the most accomplished theoretical physicist alive. In 2006, Simons was named Financial Engineer of the Year by the International Association of Financial Engineers. In 2007, he was estimated to have personally earned $2.8 billion, $1.7 billion in 2006, $1.5 billion in 2005, and $670 million in 2004. Academic and scientific career. In 1964, Simons worked with the National Security Agency to break codes. Between 1964 and 1968, he was on the research staff of the Communications Research Division of the Institute for Defense Analyses and taught mathematics at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and Harvard University, ultimately joining the faculty at Stony Brook University. In 1968, he was appointed chairman of the math department at Stony Brook University. Simons was asked by IBM in 1973 to attack the block cipher Lucifer, an early but direct precursor to the data encryption standard. Simons founded Math for America. He funds a variety of research projects. Philanthropy. Simons and his second wife, Marilyn H. Simons, co-founded the Simons Foundation, a charitable organization that supports projects related to education and health, in addition to scientific research. In memory of his son Paul, whom he had with his first wife, Barbara Simons, he established Avalon Park, a 130-acre nature preserve in Stony Brook. In 1996, 34-year-old Paul was killed by a car while riding a bicycle near the Simons home. Another son, Nick Simons, drowned at age 24 while on a trip to Bali in Indonesia in 2003. Nick had worked in Nepal, and the Simons have become large donors to Nepalese healthcare through the Nick Simons Institute. Also in 2006, Simons donated $25 million to Stony Brook University through the Stony Brook Foundation. The gift is intended to benefit the mathematics and physics departments at the university. On February 27, 2008, then-Governor Elliott Spitzer announced a $60 million donation by the Simons Foundation to found the Simons Center for Geometry and Physics at Stony Brook, the largest gift to a public university in New York State history. In December 2008, it was reported that the Stony Brook University Foundation, of which Simons is chair emeritus, lost $5.4 million in Bernard Madoff unregistered trademark Ponzi scheme. Political contributions. Simons is a major contributor to Democratic Party political action committees. Boardroom appointments. Simons serves as trustee of Brookhaven National Laboratory, the Institute for Advanced Study, Rockefeller University, the Mathematical Sciences Research Institute in Berkeley, and a trustee of Stony Brook University. He is also a member of the board of the MIT Corporation. Controversies. In May 2009, Simons was questioned by investors regarding the pattern of losses in a Renaissance fund owned by outside investors, while the investments held by Simons and fund associates enjoyed enormous gains in value. On July 22, 2014, Simons was subject to bipartisan condemnation by the U.S. Senate Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations for the use of complex barrier options to shield day-to-day trading as long-term capital gains. OE Renaissance Technologies was able to avoid paying more than $6 billion in taxes by disguising its day-to-day stock trades as long-term investments, said Senator John McCain, the committee unregistered trademark S-ranking Republican, in his opening statement. OE two banks and a handful of hedge funds developed a complex financial structure to engage in highly profitable trades while claiming an unjustified lower tax rate and avoiding limits on trading with borrowed money, said Senator Carl Levin in his prepared remarks. Simons had dealings with Madoff. Wealth. Simons earned an estimated $2.5 billion in 2008, and with an estimated net worth of $12.5 billion, he is ranked by Forbes as the 88th richest person in the world and the 27th richest person in America. He was named by the Financial Times in 2006 as the world's smartest billionaire. In 2011, he was included in the 50 most influential ranking of Bloomberg Markets magazine. Simons owns a motor yacht, named Archimedes. She was built at the Dutch yacht builder Royal van Lent and delivered to Simons in 2008. See also, Cherny-Simons theory, Cherny-Simons form, the quants, how a new breed of math whizzes conquered Wall Street and nearly destroyed it, speech at MIT, video of Carnegie Medal ceremony on YouTube, notes. External links, The Codebreaker January 2008 Bloomberg Markets article on Simons and Renaissance, the Simons Foundation, Titan's Million Stir-Up Research into Autism, James Harris Simons at the Mathematics Genealogy Project, Putting His Money Where His Math Is September 2006 article in Seed magazine. Nick Simons Institute, Jim Simons' latest portfolio, James Simons on Mathematics, Common Sense and Good Luck, My Life and Careers, MIT, Jim Simons Speaks, Just No to Google and Goldman Sachs.